segment, this iPad also got a pretty big increase, in terms of the first generation to the other. Now we had that Apple A5 chip inside of it, which I think was about the same thing as like an iPhone 4S, which I think was pretty good. Now you did have half a gig of RAM. So right now in this day and age, it's really not a lot, but considering where we were at before, when we had that iPad first generation with a quarter of gig, that thing, we kind of doubled the RAM. I wish it was more, honestly, like there's nothing we can do about it, but we did get an increase in the RAM, which I think is really cool. The fact that it, doubled in RAM overnight from one, or not overnight, but from one generation to the other. I think that's an extremely cool thing that this iPad had. And at the end of the day, the performance of this iPad at that time was probably good. In this day and age, it's probably not great. I wouldn't think anybody's going to be using this iPad as their main device or their main machine. But at that time, it's pretty surprising of what this iPad was able to do. And as I stated before, when you have an iPad like this, you're definitely going to be able to be okay at a certain point, but anything after, like, even if you want to use this thing as like a media machine or something, it's really not going to give you that good of a performing, but it's not going to give you good performance at all. But when you consider the fact that this iPad had that type of capability at that time, it really does put things in perspective, considering it was so much faster than the previous generation before it, and it had way more RAM and all that stuff. So I think for sure at the end of the day, this iPad, I don't really want to make the performance seem like it was bad, because it's bad now, but it wasn't bad at that time. And I'll definitely tell you, when it came down to it, this iPad shocked me. It's just an overall shocking iPad. And